This video is going to be on Saturn. Yes. Here we go with Saturn. Guys, I love Saturn. Saturn in the first house. Oh, wow. Because you know that it all depends upon, it's all about what sign Saturn's in. And hopefully, guys, I can get to that. I can go through all 12 signs. But right now, we're just talking about Saturn in the first house. Whoa. Whoa. I'm just going to say this. Saturn in a person's first house can be very hard on the individual and how they see themselves. And let me tell you, the individual more than likely is going to be seeing themselves in a real way. And that realness is hard to break free from, guys. Like, hard to break free from. It's not like having Aries in the first house. Like, Aries in the first house, you could be someone that is obese, frail, not that attractive, or not that athletic, not physically fit, however you want to put it, but yet you see yourself as those things, or it doesn't bother you. Like, you can easily say, well, you know what? I don't care. It is what it is. And your confidence still can shine through, and you could actually get ahead where a person with Saturn in their first house won't. Instead of saying Aries in the first house, I should have said something like Mars. Okay. Someone with Venus in their first house could see themselves as beautiful, pretty, all these things, even if no one else sees them as that. They can make money off of their looks because they believe that they can. And don't get me wrong, they could be pretty. You know, they could have those physical attributes because Venus in the first house does bring that. But someone with Saturn in the first house could actually be pretty, though. Okay? Could be handsome. Maybe he's really short. Could be pretty. Maybe she's really skinny. Or maybe she's really big. But this person would not really have the confidence sometimes to overlook that about themselves, to overlook the imperfections or the physical aspects about themselves. And if so, it may be harder for them to do so versus, like I said, someone with Mars in the first house or someone with Venus in the first house. Okay, so this person usually has to build up confidence through time, over time. And the only way that they're really able to do this is through experiences. Yeah, some of these experiences will be good. Some of these experiences will be bad. The experiences that don't go so good, the Saturn in the first house person is going to swear that it's experiences, life or death experiences. Where in reality is not. In reality, the person with Mars in the first house went through bumps in a road, had hard hits, but their confidence was stronger. Okay? And it didn't matter to them. Like, Mars is not associated publicly. Okay? Mars does what it wants. It goes off of its instincts. Person with Saturn in the first house is more worried about the way that they look publicly. Are they going to come off as important? Are people going to see them as great? So one hard hit, can set them back a long ways for them. Set things back. Okay. Can set things back for them quite a bit. And they move slower. Okay. Like I said, things for them happens over time. It is good. It's great if you have a child with Saturn in the first house. You have to help build their confidence. You have to reassure them that they can do it. You have to be like a personal cheerleader for them and let them start earlier on been involved with stuff, trying out for stuff, and asserting themselves. Okay? Because by the time they hit adulthood, they're not really burdened with a lot of what they can't do and the insecurities. Okay? The insecurities then don't really stop them. Okay? So they can be rather shy because they don't want to fail. They may not take leaps of faith. They may not assert themselves like they should. But one thing that I can say though, because Saturn in the first house is not all bad. They have the potential, like if they work at something and they really work at it, like people can see them as the best in what they do, the best in their field, the go-to person, the person that knows this, the person that knows that, the person that's in authority. Now, when they're younger, this could be kind of tough on them because they may not, they could always have the responsibility put on them. Like even as children, people can expect a lot on them, where they may let like the other children run free, run wild. Maybe they don't follow strict rules and strict guidelines like they have the person with Saturn in the first house follow. Okay, and this can be for the person with Saturn in the first house. This can be all the way up until adulthood. Like they can feel like people expect more out of them, and they will. But the best thing about people expecting more out of you is you can make the decision to say, I think this is what Saturn in the first house needs to understand, or Saturn placements, period. You can make the decision to say, well, is this something I'm going to be able to live up to or not? Because if it's not, you don't have to. Okay? Because remember, it's all about karma. It's all about confidence. When does karma stop affecting us negatively? When we realize it doesn't have to. When we awaken to the lessons that it's showing us. And you might still listen by universal aspects of karma. Yeah. You might still have to get to the age of 30, 35 or whatever to where you feel like things start really paying off for you. In certain Saturn aspects. This isn't every Saturn aspect. Or you can decide that, you know what? Now is now. I'm here now. I'm living my life now. What are lessons showing me? Like, what is life showing me? What is it that I keep trying to make happen that's not happening for me? Okay, where am I selling myself short? Saturn in the first house can sell themselves short. And how can I let go of the way I see things for just being able to release myself and live in the moment of now? Wow, I build up to what I want. That's really what it's all about. That's really what Saturn aspects is saying to us. It's just we're so fixated on the way that we want to operate, the way we want to do things, that it takes us until like second part of our life and beyond to realize how we've been working against ourselves. Okay. So Saturn in the first house is good to do things sometimes that you are afraid of. Now I'm not talking about, because I won't be responsible for this, because I won't be responsible to don't be doing off the wall crazy stuff. Okay. But I'm just saying, live a little. Try things that you won't normally try. Unwind. A lot of people with Saturn in the first house, their body movements is stiff. They're conscious. They are conscious more than any other first house placement about what people could be saying about them, what they're doing publicly. And they come off as very refined sometimes. They want their hair a certain way. Like wait, is my hair the way? Okay. You see? They want, the smooth, sleek, refined, conservative look. Because God forbid they break a rule or they come off a certain way. As a matter of fact, there could be lots of things that about a Saturn first house person that they're into, they enjoy, they want to try, but you will never know it because they never talk about it, they never say anything about it, you never see them trying it. It's because they want to try and try and try behind the scenes. They do it all behind the scenes because of the fear of humiliation, the fear of failing publicly, when that is this exact thing they should be going towards. Like I said, Mars in the first house fails often, fails fast, fails far. Very quickly. And you just don't look at it. We don't look at it like that. We look at them like, wow, you're confident. Wow, you take a licking and you keep on ticking. Saturn in the first house won't allow themselves to take these lickings, guys. Like, they won't allow themselves to keep on ticking, is what I'm saying. So if you're Saturn in the first house, you gotta do things that build your confidence, where you actively build your confidence, trying different things, you know. But I will say this. Just because you have Saturn in the first house, it doesn't limit you from things all the way. I feel like acceptance is a big part of Saturn in the first house. Or you can get to another part of yourselves and accessing those parts of yourselves. You have to accept yourself. It's a lesson of understanding that nobody is going to be able to accept you for you until you accept you for you. That's how it always happens. And then they're like, oh, yay, congratulations. And they're jumping on board. Okay? So if there's situations to where you only have one person in your audience, you have that one person in your audience, and you have it in a big way. And you stay confident and you remain confident in that position. I'm not here to give you limited information. Oh, no, ma'am. No, sir. No, I won't do it. I can tell you what possibilities that's out there, what you may face, but I'm not here to put people in limited situations. Like, I don't want you to feel like when I talk to you about astrology, it's just a fixed way. It's not a fixed way. Because remember, the mind creates things that delivers us our existence. Once we understand what that is, we're able to move past it. That is what the limitations of Saturn is all about. Saturn is a true trickster, my friends. Saturn also rules the sign of Aquarius. Remember that. The sign of Aquarius is all about setting itself free. Okay? It's all in your head a lot of the times, is what I'm saying. It's all in the mind. And it's all in the mind of Saturn in the first house. So I can give you the restrictions, but I'm going to tell you the answers to fixing it, though. It's about fear. Saturn in the first house is surrounded by fear. Fear of what they don't know. Fear of what could happen. And they're so much so stuck in those fears a lot of times that they don't allow themselves to go beyond it. And you know, most of the time what you think about, you bring about. It's just true. And if you keep thinking these negative things, and you just keep thinking that you're not enough, and you keep thinking that you're comparing yourself, and what if this happens and what if that happens, more than likely you're going to bring about the experiences that allows you to see what indeed is going to happen. Okay, Saturn in the first house, though, can actually build themselves up to be a persona for something. And it's usually because Saturn in the first house, they worked on something consistently. They trained in something consistently. They tried something consistently. And they keep going up to the next level, keep going up to the next level, keep going up to the next level. And then people publicly start seeing people with Saturn in the first house as the person that is like the master in a certain field or knows what they're talking about. Because this person because they're very wise. You know, they've had experiences that had them get to that point. And they think a lot. Okay. So when you're dealing with Saturn in the first house, like I said, being mindful of what the information in the thought processes you're feeding yourself is very important. Okay. And you can see bodybuilders with Saturn and Capricorn, or not Saturn and Capricorn, but with Saturn and Capricorn, but Saturn in the first house, bodybuilders, because if they ever get a program, or if they ever get something that they work at, they will work at it and they will work at it and they will work at it. You'll see them 1 minute and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? Because the last time I seen you, really, it probably won't be a minute. It could be a year, like a year or two, whatever, but still. And you are totally different. This is the person that can go to the reunion and people are like, dang, like, what did you, like, whoa. Because it's all about where you put your time. And through time, things happen, and it happen in a big way. Okay, so they could be successful. It's the Saturn in the first house has to see themselves as more than what they think of themselves, because you're evidently more than that. Okay, and when life puts its burdens or challenges the way you see yourself, you gotta say no. Like, I don't have to accept this. Okay, so this has been Saturn in the first house. I'm your girl, Butterfly to Light. Like, share, and subscribe, because I will be back with more placements, and you never know what else I might be back with. Okay, so see you.